Welcome back to the Royal Reads. I'm glad you decided to come by and see what I'm reading on today. But before we do that, I'm just going to remind you, please subscribe if you like my content and give me a thumbs up and hit your notification bell so you'll know when I do upload. I'm coming every day, but I don't know when I'm coming. I'm like my grandmother. Grandmother used to say that. She said, I'll be over there, but I don't know when I'm coming. So I'm kind of like that with my uploading my video. So hit that notification bell. All right. Okay, let's get to the royal read. Today I am reading on Prince William, William the Great. At least that's what they want us to believe. And that's what Richard Kay wants us to believe. About 3 days ago, he wrote an article, and it was for William's birthday. And for this year, they didn't really make a big deal out of his birthday and make him go out and, you know, pretend like he cared about the homeless. You remember that? When he has absolutely done nothing, they came up with a plan for him to go out and prevent to befriend. It'll come out in a minute. Befriend the homeless, especially this one homeless guy. And he just has no qualms in using people as props. And he's standing up there with this homeless guy, pretending like he's selling this paper that the homeless people sells for a job to be able to garnish money for their families and themselves. And he was up there pretending to sell them, with his Rolex watch on. And I mean, it just was so strange. And everybody knew that he just came out there for a few minutes, with the cameras. But yet he loves to have these quasi faux relationships. He has a quasi faux relationship with this black guy that he once slept rough with. And every time he gets criticized for racism or something like that, he go and pull him out. He go and pull him out, and the black guy would say, "Well, he slept rough with me. He slept rough with me. He's not a racist. He slept rough with me." And that's the same way that they do with this homeless guy. Because I think on his 40th birthday, they found him, and that's when he first went out, selling these magazines, pretending to sell these magazines. And then on his 41st birthday, they went back to him. They tapped that well again. And the same guy took, they took the pictures, and and I'm sure the guy, it was homeless then, homeless when William was 40, homeless when William was 41, but they didn't show it when he was 42. They decided to put out the picture of him jumping off the dunes with the kids and talking to Richard Kay. I guess they wanted to taper it back because of Kate's cancer and Charles' cancer. And so, they wanted to make sure that they didn't overdo it. And I'm sure William was really, really happy with that. But let's get back to this article. This is an article that they say that it wasn't a direct interview or anything like that. It was through William's friends. And we know when William would not have friends in his life that would go to people like Richard Kay or anybody else, spilling the beans or saying this or that or whatever, because these friends talk a lot. Every time you turn around, it's an article about William's friends saying how much William hates Harry. And this article is not much different from that. It's a Harry bashing article. He is so butthurt that Harry has a better life than him, that he just cannot stand it. He cannot get past it. I don't know. Is it something with the English? We as Americans, we move on. But Harry's been gone close to 6 years now. And these people act like he just left yesterday. They are not moving through the grief process very fast. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, after 6 years, they have went from um, denial, which is the first stage of grief, to bargaining. That's how far they got. They hadn't got anywhere in this process of grief that Harry has left. Richard K was sitting on that program the other day talking about if he's gonna come back, he needs to hurry and come back. Dude, he's been gone 6 years almost. Let it go. Move on already. I find myself saying that so much. Move on. But I digress. Let's talk about the article. So, Will's friends, which we all know is him or his secretary, but I'm thinking it's him because he wants to make sure what he says gets published. So I think it's probably a combination of him and his spin doctors. But like I said, you got to put some respect on them spin doctors' names because they orchestrated this whole thing with Kate. I mean, they got me on that one. So, okay. But like I said, so I believe basically when you hear them say friends, this his William's friends, it's William. It's William and the spin doctors. And so Richard K did this article for his birthday. Well, Kaiser, who writes for Celibici, she did an article within an article. The way she does, she reviews the article and writes an article. She writes an article about the article. And so let's get to that. Hold on. And she has some interesting points. And I'll tell you what, the comment section was hilarious. It was hilarious. Uh okay. This is what Kaiser said. It says, Prince William's birthday briefing, and that's pretty much what it was, to Richard K was all about Prince Harry, as usual. He still have not gotten over the fact that Harry has a beautiful wife, a beautiful home, the career, and doing the things that he wants to do, and he's not chained to all that tradition and all that, and he's away from him. He cannot get past it. I imagine William laying in his bed, counting the ceiling tiles in the ceiling, thinking about Harry, gnashing his teeth about Harry. He hates his brother. And let's see what Kaiser says. She said Prince William turned 42 years old on Friday. It felt like it wasn't a traditional royal birthday, and the Kensington Palace didn't brief multiple reporters about William's keen plans to be a global statesman and how he's incandescent with rage over all things Sussex. He does it every year, and they do it on Kay's birthday too. They always keen, but to me what was the funniest thing was his 40th birthday, and they had to scramble to find him some achievements, and all they could come up with the homeless, for him to go out there and sell pamphlets. And now he got this homeless project where I think he's building 20 houses. Well, that right there is going to cut down on the homeless population in Great Britain, isn't it? I mean, just something to take a picture in front of. I just keep thinking thinking back about what Megan said. They are more about how things look. I believe if William could take cardboard, paint them to be houses, like the old West where when they used to do cowboy movies and cowboy shows, they would just have the prop, just the front part of it to make it look like it was a saloon or to make it look like it was a stables or something like that, or the general store. It would just be a front, nothing in back. If he could do those houses like that, that's exactly the way it would be. Just something to stand in front of. He is all about that. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. What really sticks in my craw about William, and it don't have anything to do with the homeless or anything like that. It was when Harry was getting married. When they announced that Harry was getting was engaged. And William was out and about doing an engagement. And a woman, I think it was a woman, asked him, how did he feel about the engagement and everything like that? And he goes, "Oh, we are so happy about it." He said, "I am really happy about it because now he can stay out of my fridge, eating up all my food." I mean, the lies just slip out of his mouth so easily. But at the time, I did not know. But then we go back to Spare. Harry said they never invited him over. Harry said he would be in Notcott and he would watch the nanny rolling the baby, taking the baby for a walk. And he just knew at any time that they were going to invite him over. Harry did not have the freedom to just drop over and go in his refrigerator, but he made that lie up so easily out of the top of his head. Go back and find that clip. William is anything that slips out of his mouth. If somebody can lie and and the lie just slips out of their mouth like that, it was just so with ease. That's a dangerous person. That is, he said, "I'll be glad." Me personally, I'll be glad because he can stay out of my fridge eating up my food. And to paint Harry as a scrounger. And Harry said he never even got to go over there. Oh, and they would talk about how Harry was with the children and everything like that. Harry never even went over. He never invited his brother over. He only wanted Harry around to draw the eyeballs when they did an engagement. That was it. Because Harry was the most popular royal. They wouldn't say he was more popular than the Queen. They wouldn't say that, but I believe he was. And William wanted him for the eyeballs. But once that was over, William would not even invite Harry over for supper. And then he gets asked a question and then he lies and paints Harry as a scrounger, saying that he'll be glad when he's glad he's going to get married. Now he can stay out of his fridge, as he put it, eating all my food. He let that lie slip. I mean, it was just so easy for him. And when I found that out, I said, this one right here, this one right here. But we're supposed to believe that Harry and Meghan is the liar. I digress, but I just had to. I had to tell that little ditty. All right. It says, okay, it's talking about it was for Richard K and stuff like that. Well, Kaiser, she kind of segmented it out to different little segments, and one of them was she titled it "William Still Handsome." So Richard K had to feed that ego, that part of his ego. It says, it can be said with some certainty that the mood in the family home yesterday was cheerful. Even so, when William peered into his shaving mirror, he will have seen a face that is notably aged in the last 12 months. Still handsome, but the reflection will show a profile which is a little thinner and the lines a touch deeper. We all saw William swaying back and forth. And we all saw that picture of William when Charles turned over Harry's old company, his old army regiment to William. And William went up in the Apache helicopter and came down, and he had that outfit on, looking like a straight up Gomer. And somebody, and I think it was Squatty, did a side by side of Harry getting off of the helicopter and William standing up there looking like McGoofy. We all see William, and he has to stroke the ego. The the British media is not a media. It's not a media. It is something that is used to flatter the royal family, to prop up the royal family. I mean, this is ridiculous. You're telling me you didn't see Prince Sway Sway? It's as if that never happened. But we move on. Okay, now this part of his article is about his Williams in, anger towards social media and the speculations towards Kate. And it says furiation by the he's furious by the speculation about Kate's health. Okay, this is what it says. At times this year he has been infuriated by the global social media firestorm surrounding his wife's health. Her long absence from the royal front line triggered multi conspiracy theories about her well being and her whereabouts. She was subject to a barrage of trolling that has been both upsetting and offensive in a way that has been quite a useful force, said one of his circle. He has added to his it has added to his resilience, which he has always possessed. And I think it is fair to say has helped him cope. Sway Sway. Sway Sway was coping. Mr. Pull out of my godfather's memorial. That's who coping well. As if it never happened. As if it never happened. And that wasn't the only um, time two official events. It's the one time when he did that event with Camilla. I think it was, what was it? The Commonwealth Day. I think it was Commonwealth Day. Correct me in the comments, but I think it was Commonwealth Day. He was swaying then. And then when he did the investitures, he was swaying then and dropping medals and throwing them across the room, trying to catch them. But he coping now. He's coping. And then also being infuriated about the social media and the conspiracies and all that. Like they didn't have nothing to do with that. Like the Frankenstein picture that they released for Mother's Day, and they continue to release all these. This picture of him jumping off the dunes is so clearly photoshopped. But yet and still, it's us. It's not them. They keep giving us all this stuff, and the market Kate, and the bench Kate, and the grainy Kate in the car. But he's infuriated, really. But yet and still, you're the one who putting all this stuff out. People are just giving you back what you are giving us. We're just giving you back what you're giving us. And they continue, KP continues to give us Photoshop pictures, lying to us saying that Kate took them. On this recent picture where they're jumping off the dunes, Charlotte's foot is just as big as his foot. I think Louis's foot is just as big as bigger. Or it's either Louis or George's foot is bigger than his. And we're supposed to believe that and not say nothing about it. If you don't want us to say nothing, don't put nothing out. No, we still would say something if you didn't, you didn't put anything out. We would. But we definitely would not be talking about the picture or anything like that. I mean, what about just telling the truth? What about that? But he's mad. He's mad. Like KP didn't totally bungle. Well, I don't think KP, I go back and say, I think we need to put some respect on their name because I think they did exactly what they wanted us to, to do. I really do. But I don't think it worked out the way they thought it was going to work out. But I think they did that. Go back and look at my video about Kate returning. I talk about why I feel like KP is not as incompetent as they appear. But let's go on. And this is the last segment that I'm gonna talk about the article. And then I'm gonna talk a little bit about the comments because they are hilarious. It said William expect Harry to with this is the caption. William expected Harry to run back to deal with Kate and Charles' cancer battles. Do you think he really thought that? If ever William have needed the support of a brother who was once seen as a vital importance to the running of the monarchy, it has been this year. But all the honeyed words of so-called friends that Harry is prepared to do his bit at the time of the royal crisis, that ship has surely sailed. While the king hankers for a day when he can see the Sussex's grandchildren without the rancor that seems permanently to surround relations with the California-based his with his California-based son, William has, as friends say, turned the page. Where do I start? We all know the Harry. I mean, um, Charles don't want to see them grandchildren. We all know that, and they really just need to stop. He is the king of the United Kingdom. If he wanted to see his grandchildren, he could see them, because Harry and them are not like that. I truly believe that if Charles wanted to see Lilibet and Archie, he would see Lilibet and Archie. He didn't want to see them. He wants to talk about wanting to see them because of why? Because they're more about how things look than the way they are or feel. I said this once, I'll say it again, and I'll continue to say it. The queen made sure she saw the kids. Harry said her and Prince Philip used to talk to the kids on Zoom because he made fun of Prince Philip because Prince Philip wouldn't say goodbye. He would just shut the laptop down. The Queen made sure Harry and Meghan had a place that had security. She didn't kick them out of Frogmore. And she made sure that she made time to meet Lily and Archie. The Queen, she did that. And when they came over for Jubilee, she made sure that they had their own procession in the church. And you remember that scene where Kate and William is sitting up there, Kate is looking back and William said, I know. That ate them up. She could not contain herself. She was so filled with jealousy, envy, and hate. She had to look over there where Megan was. She could not look. And he knew what she was, when she looked back there and she did, he knew what the deal was. She didn't tell him why she was reacting like that, but he said, I know. And y'all remember that? I do. And he was so pissed that day. He looked like he was running a marathon. He was walking all ahead of her. They went to the reception and he just walked off and left her. He was so done by it all. I guess he wanted to get back where he could have some drinks so he could calm himself down because he got a problem with keeping his cool. So yeah, Charles do not want to see those grandchildren. His actions prove that he does not want to see those grandchildren. If an old lady like the Queen was able to make arrangement and made sure that she maintained a relationship with her great grandchildren that were living in America, him at what's Charles 75 or something like that? You telling me he can't do the same thing? But all he can do is complain about it because it looks good for him. That's all it's about. And let's get to what they said about um, that Harry's friends said uh what how did he put it? Honeyed words of so-called friends that Harry is prepared to do his bit at the time of the royal crisis. If not mistaken, William was leaking all over the place when that little ditty came out that Harry was willing to come back part time to help his father because he had um, cancer. Willie was leaking all over the place that he did not want Harry nowhere near them, that he was not welcome to do that. But somehow that got left out of here. But now Harry is just a talker and not a doer. Now, true enough, we don't know if Harry said that or not, but I can see Harry trying to do that because Harry has always been a person to do what is asked of him. He said it. He said wherever they before Megan, before um, he got married and knew better, he said that every time they would ask him to go or do something, he would go and do it. Because he wanted their love. And I think he still does. And I hope he gets to the point where he doesn't need that anymore because he's never going to get it. These people do not have the capacity to love anybody except themselves. And that is the way the air is raised. They're raised that way. Look at all the pictures of William being selfish when it comes to towards his wife. Umbrella gate. I mean, it's picture after picture of William standing with the umbrella over himself, and Kate is standing in the rain. There's one with Harry doing this. You forgetting your wife, and William gone on with the umbrella. So why would I not believe that Harry wouldn't do that? Would make that offer? But the minute that broke, and maybe Charles kind of threw it out there so to see what would be said about it. William shut it down. He said, no, we don't need his help. Y'all remember that? I do. But now it's somehow Harry's fault for not showing up. These people, these people. And the whole thing about William has turned the page. You know what? I think he has turned the page and he hadn't turned the page. I think he maybe want to turn the page, meaning that is he done with Harry? Being a part of the monarchy. Yes, yes, that page is turned. But his obsession with Harry is never ending. I'm telling you, I I really feel that William looks at his life and he looks at Harry's life and it keeps him up at night because he has always been a person who wanted everything that Harry had from a little boy. And I have brought this up before. Go to the video where Diana and Charles go with the two boys, go to visit the King of Spain. I told you the story about the bunny, but it's a story about a little puppy too. Harry picked up the little they had dogs. Harry picked up the little dog, and William saw him pick up the little dog. He was right on. Put it down. Put it down. He did not even want Harry to have the little dog. Harry was, I think Harry maybe was two, two and a half, possibly three. And William maybe was, I don't know how old Harry, I guess William was maybe about four. Harry maybe was about two-ish. Yeah. He was standing between his mom and his dad, holding each one of them's hand. And Harry was playing, Harry's was doing his own thing. He was just as happy as he could be holding his mom and dad's hand. And then Harry went and picked that dog up. And when Harry picked that dog up and was loving on that dog, put it down, put it down. Now, and just making him just being forcibly put the dog down. It has been in William for a long, long time. He has never wanted Harry to have anything. And Harry has never been able to understand it. Harry has never been able to get it. But this is a William been doing this for a long time. And that's why it is no way he's turned the page on that. And I bet you when Harry and Meghan went to Nigeria and those pictures start coming out, I bet William was turning the bottle up and just, I bet it wasn't hardly no living up in that house because he is so envious of his brother that him and Kate do nothing but copy Harry and Meghan. Look at it with the dancing. I mean, and it's beneath them. It's beneath all the media talking about Harry and Meghan, da 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 da. But then when he does it, oh great, it's not beneath the future king. They are so pathetic over there, and William is the most pathetic of them all. And I'm gonna say this, and it might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna say it. And I think I've said it before. William wants Meghan. That is the reason why he did everything he could do for Harry not to marry Meghan. And once Harry married Meghan, he did everything to other her and to make her life miserable, to get rid of her, because he did not want Harry to have her. Go back and look at Meghan and Harry's wedding. It's a picture of William when Meghan comes in that church. I often think about that look that's on his face. It's another one when they was in and I think it was Commonwealth Day again. And William is looking at her. Every now and then the mask slips. I mean, nobody can hold, when you have a mask on, nobody can hold it up forever. Eventually it slips every now and then. And I think those are two times when his mask slipped. He wants Meghan. He wants Meghan. And if he could pull it off and Meghan would go along with it, Meghan would be the Queen of England. Now I said it. I said what I said. I'm telling you, it's that deep for him. It's that deep for him. It is single white female deep. You remember that movie, Single White Female, where that woman just took on every aspect of her roommate's life, cut her hair like her, start dressing like her. And eventually she wanted to destroy her and replace her. Tell me that's not what we're looking at right now. I'm telling you, William wants Megan. And if he could work it, it would be King William and Queen Megan. All right, y'all. That's the read for today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye.